Welcome to League of Legends, the game where people will geolocate your current longitude and latitude coordinates just because you called them bad. LOL is a top-down MOBA made by the devil incarnate Riot Games, and it is somehow the most popular MOBA after copy-pasting their entire game from Dota, who they themselves stole off a mod of Warcraft 3. League has earned the reputation of being the most toxic community in gaming, and if any of you have played even a single game of it, you would know that this is absolutely true. You might as well call this game the relationship killer, because unlike any other multiplayer game, this one will actually make you hate each other. Oh, and that calm and reasonable temperament? Say goodbye to that. This game actively makes you a worse person. But enough about me. The overall gameplay is actually very simple. Kill anything that is a different color than you... Destroy the opponent's base until you get to this big crystal thing and destroy it. This objective never changes. Ever. Even on different maps? Nah. Riot can't think of anything better. But with the amount of characters and items the game has, you're almost guaranteed to have at least a slightly different experience each time. Unless you play ranked, but you stay away from that. If you value your sanity. Anyway, me as a pro gamer will accurately tell you exactly how to play. Each player in the team of 5 will pick a role. You got top lane, jungle, mid lane, and bot lane. First, we'll start with the simplest role, top lane. The people who play this role just want to chill and be left alone. Of course, there are some exceptions where the enemy jungle just won't leave you the fuck alone! There's a stereotype of top lane being an island, as unless they're this, or this, there's a 60% chance you won't ever see them out of their lane until late game. Most champions you'll find here are bruisers and tanks. Unless you like human suffering and then you play a ranged top laner, but you wouldn't do that. You're not a coward, are you? So, if you like Farming Simulator, top lane's a good choice. Now is the lane that thinks they have the most impact on the game. Mid lane. This is where all the narcissistic, self-centered assholes play due to the champions mostly being assassins and mages. Champions who can snowball really easily. Mid laners are able to roam fairly easily with essentially a highway to the two other lanes, allowing them to have massive map pressure. In theory. In practice, most of the time they'll just sit in their lane doing nothing while complaining in chat that you entered their laner.
Like, bro, I don't care that there's no one in my lane. I'm not even trying to push or follow my opponent. Just ward them out.
Mid laners are also the most vulnerable to ganks by the enemy jungle due to their centricity and basically having two massive openings on either side of their lane. This will make some of them either play really aggressive to snowball easily and survive a 2v1, or play really safe, barely fighting the enemy and barely helping anyone else on the team because they're too scared to get put behind, leading to either having the greatest mid lane of all time in some cases, or the worst because they didn't move from their tower the whole game. But overall, if you enjoy feeling like the center of the universe, give mid lane a try. Next is bot lane, which is slightly unique as it's made up of two roles split between two people, the marksman and the support, and this leads to it being dominated by duos. The marksman is usually a ranged attack damage champion who's able to snowball easily, attracting the same players as mid lane, but with the main drawback supposed to be their low kill potential early. But of course, since Riot can't stick to their own design philosophy, they end up making mid laners on accident. These champions are pretty squishy, and usually need a lot of help in the early game to be able to get as strong as they can be in the late game. If you enjoy high risk, high reward gameplay, then play bot lane. Within the same lane is also the support, with this being the only role where you're expected to essentially babysit someone, while also not inting yourself. But there are two main people who play support. Those who can't lane by themselves so they play a mage to yoink kills all game, or those who know they can't trust any other person on their team. Champions you'll find here will often fall into three categories. Engaged champions, who are able to start a fight relatively easily, with high mobility, but, being really squishy. Disengaged champions, who can get their partner out of a really bad situation, usually tankier supports. And utility champions, those that can provide buffs and heals, and shields. If you're fine with everyone else getting credit for the stuff you set up, play support. Or if you're playing with friends. Next is jungle. Now, the people who play this role are incredibly controlling, as they're responsible for every other lane and have the most impact on the game. The main gist of jungle is that you prowl around the map, killing monsters in these little grassy areas to gain levels, help laners win trades, and getting objectives like Dragon, Rift Herald, and later in the game Baron. I'll explain why these things are important later. Almost any type of champion can jungle. You can play tanks, bruisers, fighters, assassins, even mages. Jungle is by far the most complicated role, and I don't recommend you begin learning it until you have a good grasp on the game mechanics. But if you're a good micromanager and can multitask well, give it a try. Of course, in norms, you can play whoever you want, wherever you want, just to fuck around. But be prepared for people to say that your mother birthed you on a toilet. But wait, there's more! Throughout the game, you'll be earning gold from kills, minions, assists, bounties, your mum, your cat. Pretty much anything you do will get you some form of money. And you can use this money to support the arms dealer chilling in your base to buy items. These items come in two main types: Mythic and everything else. Now don't let the name fool you. Mythic items are not better than normal ones. They just force you into a specific playstyle, with each role having 3 or 4 to choose from. For example, Marksmen can choose to go Immortal Shield Bow if they don't have enough sustain to survive in fights, allowing you to play more aggressive. Or they can go Kraken Slayer to make your champion do shit tons of damage in sustained fights through their autos. The final main mechanic of the game are objectives. Throughout the game, you'll see these funny little icons on the map. These are Dragon, Rift Herald, and later Baron, respectively. Rift Herald is a huge bug motherfucker with a giant eye you can poke, and after you kill him, you enslave his soul and summon him later to destroy towers and help push lanes. Baron replaces Rift Herald at 20 minutes and is basically a raid boss, usually needing about 4 people to kill, but grants everyone alive the Hand of Baron buff after you kill him, souping up yourself and your minions. Dragons are a bit different, as they come in different flavors. You got water, fire, earth, air, and Hextech, with each one giving you small buffs making your team harder, better, faster, stronger, and better CDR. Up to 8 Dragoons can spawn a game, but after 2 are killed, the environment changes as the soul is determined, with some changing the landscape like Fire and Mountain Drake, or adding things around the map like Wind and Hextech. After the environment change, only that type of dragon will spawn for the rest of the game. And after your team kills a total of 4 dragons, you get the dragon's soul buff, giving you a souped up version of the buffs you had before, like Mountain Drake giving you extra armor and magic resist before, and a shield afterwards. Just this alone would make dragons the highest priority objective in the game, but Riot decided, that's not enough, let's add another one. After soul has been claimed, the next dragon will spawn will be Elder Dragon, a bigger, better, more Baron-like one. Now if you kill this, it gives you the ability to execute any champion below a certain amount of HP, pretty much winning the game for you. And that's pretty much it. We got minions, lanes, items, objectives. Yeah, that's about it. That's literally it. The only other part of the game of it, like people, but I think you can guess how they act.
Why play League of Legends when you could get cancer?
Same thing. Of course, there's things like skins, but come on, man, don't give him your money. Ultimately, 4 out of 10. It's a fun game to play with friends, but when there's nothing else available. But I warn you, you will get addicted, and not in the good way. Bye. Sub for more stuff.